Before you answer, pause for a moment. Notice what happened inside you when you first saw that question. Did your mind go somewhere quiet, somewhere cozy, somewhere open, or somewhere moving? That small, almost invisible pull is not accidental. It is your inner world speaking before your logic has time to interrupt. Rain is one of the most psychologically revealing forces in nature. Unlike sunshine, which tend to energize and expand us outward, rain turns something inward. It creates a boundary between the self and the world. What you choose to do within that boundary says something profound about how you relate to solitude, emotion, comfort, and freedom. Carl Jung believed that our instinctive responses to natural environments reveal the deeper architecture of the psyche. Rain, in particular, activates what he called the feeling function, the part of us that evaluates the world not through logic, but through emotional resonance. So look at the 4 options in front of you. Do not choose what sounds best or most admirable. Choose what is true, the one that made something inside. You quietly say, yes, that's me. Your answer is already waiting. Let's find out what it means. 1. Sit at home and enjoy the view from the balcony. If this is where you naturally go when rain begins, your inner world values something that is increasingly rare in modern life, the art of simply being present. You do not need noise to feel alive. You do not need activity to feel fulfilled. You have learned, perhaps without realizing it, that some of the most meaningful experiences happen when you stop chasing experience altogether and simply let the world move past you while you remain still. There's a quiet emotional intelligence in this choice. You notice things others miss. The way light changes on wet streets. The smell of earth after the first drops fall. The way people hurry while you stay. You are an observer by nature, and observation is a form of wisdom that most people are too busy to develop. From a Jungian perspective, this choice reflects a strong relationship with what he called introversion, not in the sense of shyness, but in the deeper sense of finding energy and meaning through inner reflection rather than outer stimulation. You are nourished by stillness. Solitude does not drain you. It restores you. But this preference carries a shadow worth examining. The balcony is a place of beautiful distance. You can see the world from there without fully entering it. If you are honest with yourself, there may be moments when that distance feels safer than it should, when watching becomes a way of not participating, when reflection becomes a way of not deciding. The rain does not ask you to come outside, but sometimes growth does. Your strength is your capacity for presence, for peace, for finding depth in ordinary moments. The world needs people who can be still, who can sit with what is, rather than always reaching for what could be. You are one of those people. The question to carry with you is this: is my stillness a source of clarity, or has it sometimes become a comfortable way to stay where I already am? 2. Watch a movie. If rain makes you reach for a blanket, dim the lights, and disappear into a story, you are someone with a deeply developed inner life and a powerful need for emotional resonance. This is not about comfort in a simple sense. It runs deeper than that. You are drawn to narrative, to characters, to the experience of feeling something real through something fictional. And this is not escapism in the way people sometimes mean it dismissively. It is a sophisticated emotional process. You use story to process what daily life does not give you language for. Jung wrote extensively about the power of myth and narrative as psychological tools. He believed that humans do not just enjoy stories. We need them. Stories allow us to experience fear, love, loss, courage, and redemption in a space where the stakes feel manageable. They help us rehearse being human. If this is your rainy day choice, you likely feel emotions with unusual depth. A well-crafted scene can move you in ways that are difficult to explain. You may cry at films that others find merely entertaining. You may find yourself thinking about a character days after the credits roll, because something in their story was actually something in yours. You value atmosphere. You create comfort intentionally, not lazily. The right lighting, the right snack, the right film. These are not trivial preferences. They are acts of self-care that reflect your sensitivity to environment and emotional tone. The shadow here is worth examining honestly. Sometimes the stories we lose ourselves in are the ones we have not yet had the courage to live. Sometimes the warmth of a fictional world becomes a reason to delay stepping into the uncertain reality of our own. Your challenge is not to feel less. It is to bring that same emotional richness into the actual chapters of your life, not just the ones on screen. Your gift is empathy. Your gift is imagination. And your gift is a rare ability to be genuinely moved. Do not underestimate how powerful that is in a world that is slowly forgetting how to feel. 3. Go out and dance in the rain. If your answer was this one, something important is already true about you. You have refused to let the world decide your mood. This choice is not simply about being energetic or spontaneous, though you are both. It reflects a psychological posture toward life that is genuinely uncommon. Most people wait for conditions to be right before they allow themselves joy. You have learned, either through wisdom or through necessity, that conditions are rarely right, and joy cannot wait. There is a defiance in dancing in the rain, a quiet but powerful refusal to be controlled by circumstance. Rain is supposed to send people inside. You went out anyway. That instinct, that almost rebellious openness to experience, is one of your greatest strengths. Jung spoke of the sensation function, the capacity to be fully present in the body, in the physical moment, without filtering experience through thought or caution. Those who choose this option often have this function highly developed. You are alive in a very immediate, unmediated way. You feel your life rather than just thinking it. You are likely the person in your circle who makes things happen, who suggests the thing everyone was afraid to suggest, who moves first so others feel permission to follow. This is not recklessness. This is a form of courage expressed through aliveness. But there's a shadow even here. The person who always dances in the rain sometimes struggles to sit with the rain, to be in it without performing, without transforming it into something. There may be moments of discomfort or grief or stillness that you move through rather than through, that you dance past rather than into. Your growth does not come from becoming more cautious. It comes from learning that stillness is not the enemy of joy, that you can be fully alive while also fully quiet, that the rain is beautiful even when you are simply standing in it. You are a reminder to everyone around you that life is participatory, that you can choose your relationship to what happens, that even in the gray and the wet and the unexpected, there's something worth saying yes to. 4. Go for a long drive. If this is where the rain takes you, you are someone who has made peace with your own company in a way that most people spend their whole lives trying to achieve. A long drive in the rain is one of the most psychologically specific things a person can choose. It is not passive like watching. It is not social like dancing. It is not still like sitting. It is motion without destination. Movement that is not about getting somewhere, but about giving yourself room to think, to feel, to process without interruption. You likely carry a rich inner world that everyday life does not always give enough space to. Conversation can sometimes feel like noise when you're processing something deep. Company can sometimes feel like an interruption, not because you don't love people, but because some things can only be understood alone in motion with music and rain against glass. Jung described a particular kind of psychological depth that belongs to those who are comfortable with ambiguity, with open questions, with a long road that doesn't need to resolve quickly. This is you. You do not rush your own understanding. You give yourself the time and the miles to arrive somewhere true. There is emotional intelligence in this choice that often goes unrecognized, even by the people who make it. You are not avoiding anything. You are processing. The drive is not an escape. It is a method. The shadow, however, is worth sitting with. Independence can quietly become isolation. The long drive that once restored you can gradually become the reason you never fully arrive anywhere with another person. Processing alone is a strength, but some things can only be processed together. Ask yourself, is my solitude in service of connection, or has it slowly become a substitute for it? You are someone who understands that peace is not found in the absence of noise. It is found in the presence of the right silence. And when you find that silence, moving through a rain-soaked road with nowhere to be, you are, in your own quiet way, completely and absolutely yourself. A final thought. For options, for different relationships with the same sky, none of them is the right way to be. None of them is better than the others. What they reveal is simply which part of you is currently most alive, what your inner world is reaching for when the world outside turns gray and quiet and asks nothing of you. Rain is one of the few things that pauses life without asking permission. And in that pause, something true rises to the surface. What rose in you today is worth noticing. Share your choice in the comments. You may find that someone else's words describe something you felt, but never quite said out loud.